Most people are not using the foam roller correctly. Most are just going in there and really wasting their time and not making the best out of their mobility time. Foam rolling should not just be going in and just rolling, if I have my roller here, just quickly rolling up and down like most people do. We're trying to manipulate the tissue here. We're trying to release it, right? If we're lifting weights, if we're working out, it gets kind of pissed off. It gets tight, it gets short, and we need to try to lengthen it, right? I'm not the best at it, but we're all trying to fight injuries. We're trying to stave off injuries, and we're trying to keep that tissue healthy, right? So firstly, if you're doing foam rolling, please, please, please take it slowly. So if you're gonna do it, put some focus into it. You should feel some tension release while you're doing this, right? So if you just run over the muscle really quickly, it's gonna stay tight. It's gonna stay seized up. And if I'm using my arm here as an example, if I'm just rolling back and forth, it's not going to necessarily release that muscle, right? It'd be a lot more beneficial if I could just take it nice and slow. It's not going to give up often without a fight, right? Also, running against the fiber grain a little bit. So whenever we're rolling, a lot of times we go with the direction of the muscle, and that's good for a warm-up. But if you're actually trying to manipulate the muscle, create some change, right? Here's some muscle fibers, right? If we have these muscle fibers and they're encased in these fascicles, right? We want them to move. If we just roll up and down on them, what is it going to do? Very little, right? Very little. But if we create some lateral and medial movement, we can get these things to move a little bit and to slide a little bit better and to release, right? If there's any trigger points in there, we can release some of that tension. That's not done by just rolling up and down. Sometimes you're gonna have to seesaw a little bit, go side to side on a tight part. So once you're done, taking it slow, going up and down, releasing it a little bit. Once you feel those tight spots, really dial in on those and seesaw back and forth a little bit. Also, once you find a tight spot, pin that sucker down and move the muscle, right? So this is called tack and move, tack and stretch, pin and move, pin and stretch. It can be called whatever, but the main thing is once you find a spot, go ahead and move that muscle, stretch it, and then contract it. Create some movement in that muscle while you have it pinned down, restore the blood flow. If you feel a tight spot that's referring pain somewhere else, that's a trigger point that needs to be addressed. So stay on it, stay with it, move it around a little bit. So if you find a tight spot on the thigh, give it 5 to 10 good kicks, move it around a little bit, and that should help you get a lot more productive foam rolling session.